In a previous video, we saw how to create a copy of an object from the scene or a copy from a prefab object. To summarize, we created a script, defined a GameObject variable, assigned the prefab of the object you want to create in the inspector, and then used the Instantiate function to make a clone of that object and place it in the scene. I'm gonna leave you that video in the description for more details, and now we're gonna see how to create a random prefab. Subscribe to support this content and let's start solving this problem. Now, let's assume that we have 4 prefabs and we want to create one of them at random. Let's create a new script and an empty GameObject to assign it. Inside the script, we're going to define an array of GameObjects, call it for example original objects. And in the inspector, we're going to set the size of the array in 4 because we have 4 objects, and then drag each object to one of the fields in the array. Now, how can we choose one of these objects at random? We can generate a random integer from 0 to the size of the array -1 and then use that value to access an element of the array. The -1 part is for this reason. In this case, we have 4 elements. The first one has index 0 and the last element has index 3. That is, the size of the array for -1. The Random.Range function allows you to generate a random integer if you pass 2 integers as parameters. So we write Random.Range and between parentheses pass 0, the size of the array. This function does include the first value, but doesn't include the last one. So in our particular case, the possible values will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now, use that integer to access to the GameObject in the array. This is a GameObject, so you can store it in a local GameObject variable, and here you have an object chose at random that you can instantiate the same way as we saw in the video in the description. Simply use it as the parameter of the Instantiate function. Run this a couple times to see that it's working. Additionally, you can merge all these instructions into one like this. Directly use the Random.Range function to access to the array, and directly use all this as the parameter of the Instantiate function. The result is exactly the same. Subscribe to this channel so we can see each other again in the next video.